Everyone and welcome. Now you probably know it kicked off outside a hotel, a migrant hotel, recently in Liverpool. And the media and all of the establishment are trying to say that it was because of the far right, as they usually do. You know, so that they can then just ignore the issues that were raised.
The core is rotten, and I can behold the tide.
Well, you may not know, but on Talk Radio they had a Liverpudlian phone in that was at the protest. Mostly peaceful protest, he said. From someone that had boots on the ground and a vested interest. Let's have a listen. And before we do, remember, Liverpool is as left-wing as you can get in the UK, in my honest opinion. And that comes from someone that has 50% of my family live in Liverpool. So I know firsthand. No offence, my family in Liverpool. I'm gonna get hammered next time I see any of them now. Look what you've made me do. But it's left-wing. It's not far-right. It's not been co-opted by the far right. It's not any of that. Have a listen to what he says.
Hello.
It started out as a peaceful protest. What went wrong?
About frustration, I guess. We all went down there with our children. That's how we knew it was supposed to be peaceful.
Yeah. And you're a parent, clearly. You were enraged by this video of a migrant approaching a poor little schoolgirl, harassing her. She said she was sexually harassed, and asking for her phone number. I mean, that's not calculated to keep people happy, is it?
No, it's disgusting, but this has been happening for months. That's not the first time this has happened. They're going to the leisure centre and telling the children that the footballers and that they can take them places. Really?
God.
That's how bad it's become. It's more of a case the children are scared to walk home from school now.
God, dear. And tell me,
walking home.
How did the riot, because that's what they're calling it now, you said it started off as a peaceful protest. How did it get out of control? Because the pictures are extraordinary.
No, I don't know how it got out of control. I've heard it was from the opposition or something. They were putting up that the far right are here and we're locked in the car park. But the videos that they were showing, they were on the same lane as the people, was protesting.
What's your was this primarily, as the BBC maintained, far-right protesters, or was it, as you said earlier, parents who are worried about their kids?
It's just parents that are worried about the children. We vote Labour every year. We are not far-right. There's no racism coming from this protest.
Yeah, I was going to say, Liverpool is not exactly a far-right stronghold, is it? It's well known to be Labour, yeah?
We vote Labour every time, so unless Labour have become far-right, then, you know...
So that's legitimate concerns, isn't it, everyone? Now, my words are not as good as the next gentleman I'm going to play. This is from GB News, and it's Leo Kearse, the comedian Leo Kearse, as he nails it pretty much. Have a listen to what he says.
Far right, which strangely the Guardian find easier to call out than the far left, don't they?
Yes, the Guardian they've written this piece about patriotic and alternative, who are apparently a far-right group, who are trying to inflame local tensions in Britain to spread their far-right stance. So apparently they're capitalising on local opposition to refugees and trying to co-opt anti-migrant campaigns. I mean, that's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is migrants have been dumped on these working-class communities that didn't ask for the migrants. I don't know why they can't go to the communities of Guardian readers who clearly want them. And it's sowing social discord. We've seen highly publicised, apparent sexual propositioning of schoolgirls. We've got the grooming gangs in our recent history, and still ongoing history, and authorities ignore all this, and patriotic alternative are saying to these people, we're listening to you, we're taking you seriously.
Isn't that the problem, Leo? Is when you have some legitimate grievances, such as, the example you mentioned of the young child being propositioned, but then you get these far-right groups that sort of tag themselves onto legitimate grievances and kind of stain the whole thing. Yeah. And that is a worry, isn't it?
And then the whole thing can be dismissed as grooming gangs and, various other things. They just dismiss everything as, this is a far-right, this is a conspiracy, this is lies spread by the far right, and it's not really what needs to happen. Is the authorities, actual proper mainstream political parties need to step in and treat these issues properly. With the grooming gangs, that was allowed to continue for decades, and we're just sacrificing young girls at the altar of these liberal beliefs, and it's disgusting.
Bruce, do you have any thoughts about this?
No.
No, he's right on that. They'll just bolt far right on everything and all of the phobes and all of the isms and then completely ignore the issue. As per usual, as we've seen numerous times before because of things like he suggested, like the grooming gangs, and we've seen more violence on the streets, more violent crime on the streets, etc., etc. There is a long list and it's growing daily. So he is correct, isn't he? Let me know what you think. I'd like to know your opinion. Do you think the far right were the problem? Do you think the far left were the problem? Do you think it was just people having enough? Let's have a listen to what you say in the comments, everyone. Let's have a chat. Stay sane. I'll see you on the next one.